Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will explore the fascinating topic of hydrodynamic numerical models of wave structure interaction. Nonlinear shallow water models have been used to simulate surf zone hydrodynamics and wave structure interaction following two approaches, wave-averaged models and the more commonly used time domain models. The validity of these models for simulating surf zone processes is restricted to situations where the wave height is small in comparison to water depth and the change in depth is small over a characteristic horizontal length for motion. Svensson, 2005, 1. This problem has been partially solved by assuming a hydrostatic pressure distribution, a depth uniform velocity profile, negligible vertical accelerations, and simple parameterization of the turbulent terms in the equations of motion and the flow within porous media. These assumptions allow the use of depth-integrated nonlinear shallow water equations models near coastal structures. Despite assumptions and limitations, models based on NLSW equations are very efficient and cheap. Simulations covering many wave periods can be calculated rapidly and can be a valid method under certain conditions. The capability of the one-dimensional depth-averaged nonlinear shallow water equations model with Bohr-like dissipation and quadratic bottom friction model for the study of wave overtopping was first tested by Kobayashi and Reichel. The model, called RBREAK, was essentially based on the previous work of Kobayashi and Warjanto, in which a system of conservation equations of mass, momentum, and energy was derived from the two-dimensional Reynolds equations. Kobayashi and Warjanto 1989 and subsequently Dodd 1998 validated their NLSW models against a data set of monochromatic wave overtopping of a sloping sea wall by Seville 1955. The seawall was situated on a shallow foreshore, which accommodated the conditions for wave breaking. Again, the average discharge was considerably underpredicted by both models, particularly for tests of high wave steepness. The failure in reproducing the mean water level by the model was attributed to the inability of the NLSW model in describing the complex wave interactions in the surf zone, where wave setup occurs. More recently, Kobayashi et al. 2010 have improved the model by introducing a probabilistic module to the NLSW equations. SPH smooth particle hydrodynamics models have been applied to coastal engineering since around 2000. This approach solves the flow from the Lagrangian point of view, calculating the kinematics of each particle and its interaction with neighbor particles. The Lagrangian nature of SPH makes it well suited to simulate free surface flows with rapid changes in the flow field. However, SPH models are very expensive from the computational point of view and they cannot be applied to solve the large domains requested by wave structure interaction. They cannot be used to simulate many waves to provide a statistical representation of wave overtopping. A detailed explanation of the SPH theories and formulations can be found in Monahan, but first applied to coastal engineering by Dalrymple et al. A detailed explanation of the SPH theories and formulations can be found in Monahan 1992, but the method was first applied to coastal engineering by Dalrymple et al. 2001. Several works have been published in the last decades such as Godot et al. 2004, Shao et al. 2006 or Dalrymple et al. 2006 among others, showing ongoing progress in the definition of the boundary conditions and the improvement of the numerical prediction. More recently, Shao 2010 published the first work describing wave interaction with a porous coastal structure. Model comparisons have been proven to describe wave-induced hydrodynamics. However, due to the high computational cost, the model cannot be used as a predictive tool for overtopping. Having less simplifying assumptions, Navier-Stokes equations NSE are free of some of the limitations mentioned above, allowing the calculation of the velocity field in the whole computational domain for either rotational or irrotational flows. These models are able to calculate flows in complex geometries and provide very refined information on the velocity, pressure, and turbulence field. Moreover, multi-layered structures and wave flow within the porous media can be simulated. One of the first numerical models of wave interaction with a permeable breakwater based on the bidimensional NSE is the one developed by Van Gent et al. The model, named Scylla, was able to simulate wave motions inside and outside porous structures, including breaking conditions. For free surface updating, the Scylla model uses the volume of fluid VOF method introduced by Hurt and Nichols 1981, which consists of tracking the density change within each computational cell instead of the free surface location. Other models based on Navier-Stokes equations using the VOF method have been presented more recently. Iwata et al. 1996 investigated experimentally and numerically the breaking limit, breaking, and post-breaking wave deformation due to three different types of submerged structures, i.e. bottom-seated, non-bottom-seated fixed, and tautly moored using a VOF-type model. In order to improve the knowledge of the wave breaking mechanisms, Lin and Liu 1998 developed a 2D VRANS-type numerical model named Cobra's Cornell breaking waves and structures. The model was a modified version of Ripple with a nonlinear K-epsilon turbulence module for the closure of Reynolds stresses and a new set of boundary conditions to generate waves and VOF to track the free surface movements. Propagation, shoaling, and breaking of a wave train in a surf zone were investigated, focusing on the turbulence transport mechanisms. Liu et al. 1999 improved the capability of the model, including wave interaction with porous structures by spatially averaged Navier-Stokes equations. The internal drag forces were modeled by the empirical linear and nonlinear frictional forms. In later years, a great effort has been made in improving numerical models to study wave structure interaction problems, especially for wave overtopping. Simulations with a two-dimensional Reynolds averaged Navier-Stokes RANS model Lasada et al. 2008, Lara et al. 2008, Guanch et al. 2009, called IH2VOF, have revealed that structural functionality instability can be studied with a high degree of accuracy, even in the presence of granular material layers. Varens models have been used to characterize wave-induced flow within porous structures. Varens models in a two-dimensional form have proved to overcome the inherent limitations of NSLW and Boussinesq models related to wave dispersion and breaking, vertical flow characterization, non-hydrostatic pressure field. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative videos on coastal engineering topics. Share the video with your friends that need an explanation about the hydrodynamic model. Thank you for watching.